Out of the house.
Very good at laying the blame on me, aren't you?
Well, who do you think it is, Megs?
All I'm saying is if you left things to me, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
If I'd left things to you, it could have been worse.
I warned Meg.
It was a bit late, wasn't it? I told you about Jeff, but you wouldn't listen to me. Oh, no, the great Jim Fletcher knows it all.
Well, you can't blame me for not listening, can you? Have to put up with you nagging me 24 hours a day.
Nagging you? I was only trying to talk to you, for heaven's sake. But I forgot, a woman doesn't have anything to say. So you turn to your mates. And no one can say a thing against your mates.
You've never liked any of my friends. You think you're better than they are.
Friends? Killers, you mean? Daddy knew what Jeff was like in Puckapunyal. If he didn't have a war to fight, he'd explode.
You had to bring Daddy into this, didn't you?
Well, at least he isn't as one-sided about his army mates as you are.
He was a pompous old fool who spoiled his daughter rotten. He wanted you to marry a general, not a sergeant.
Didn't stop him giving us a start. We would have been scratching if he hadn't given us this house.
Thank you, Colonel Chambers.
Who is it?
Vera.
Oh, I was just going to bed, Vera.
Oh, I've been trying to ring you. I was going to ask you over, but I came here just in case you were home. I bought a bottle of wine.
Oh, thank you.
Did you know that your phone was out of order?
Yes, I'm going to get it fixed tomorrow.
I didn't really expect to find you home. I thought you could have been out with your friend.
Friend?
Well, the other day I got the impression you'd met someone. I just assumed that
I'm not seeing him anymore.
Oh. Well, if you ever need someone to talk to...
I just want to forget it, Vera.
It gets more difficult when you get to our age. Finding the right man, I mean. They just don't seem to be around. I suppose we've become too choosy. And if you've been married before, well, I guess you're always comparing them to Bill. And if you do find someone you like, well, there's always something wrong. They're either married or too set in their ways. What's funny? Meg? What's wrong? Did he do that?
He hurt me, Vera. He really hurt me.
What the hell can I do about it? Besides, if it's the only thing that's going to straighten her out, then I'm all for it.
Straighten you out?
I've been trying to help her ever since she came in here. If she wants to turn to some nutcase in a terrorist group, then I give up. Oh, flaming hell, we're out of coffee.
Oh, not to worry. Oh, that stuff rot she gives it anyway. I've got some biscuits left.
Well, at least we won't starve.
Oh, they were there.
Yeah, Pat, have you noticed ever since a dirty, rotten, stinking little thief joined us, we keep running out of things?
I never touched nothing. Every time something gets pinched, the finger gets pointed at me.
Hey, there's a very good reason for that.
What?
We know you're guilty. And so, when the next buy-up comes around, you are going to have to pay back everything you've pinched. But seeing as that's 4 days away, you are going to have to come up with something else in the meanwhile.
Fair go, B.
You made your bed, you lie in it.
Oh, if only I could get into that kitchen for 2 minutes.
Oh, you need inside help for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, inside help. Chrissy!
Oh, come off it, Bea. You're not even giving her a fair go. She's trying to turn over a new leaf.
Oh, I'll believe that when I see it. And since when did she ever give anyone a fair go anyway?
Well, a baby can change people.
Ah, not the likes of her.
Well, you can leave me out of it.
Oh, come on, Pat. We're not going to get her into any strife.
Well, my appeal's due soon. I'm not going to let anyone ruin it for me.
Okay, Lizzie, what do you want to order from the kitchen?
You reckon Chrissy'll help us, Bee?
Of course. Just takes a little friendly persuasion.
Morning.
Greg,
Morning, Vera.
Greg, I've really got to talk to you. It's about Meg. She didn't want me to say anything, but I think she needs a doctor.
What's wrong with her?
She's been beaten up. She says she's all right, but I saw her face.
Been beaten up? How? Vera?
You knew she was seeing that friend of Jim Fletcher's.
Well, I didn't know who.
Well, he went berserk for no reason, apparently. Jim knew about the violent streak, but didn't tell Meg until it was too late. And on top of everything else, he's been arrested for recruiting mercenaries. I don't know how a man like Jim Fletcher could let Meg walk into something like that. He introduced the two of them.
Good morning, Chrissy.
How you going, Chrissy, love?
G'day.
What do you want? I can't get all that.
You'll think of something.
Will you do it?
Okay.
All right, you heard the bell. Now get moving. Hurry up, Latham. You were meant to be in the kitchen ages ago.
I got something might interest you, Miss Bennett.
She didn't give us any hassles at all.
What do you expect with the three of you standing over?
Just hurry up, get your breakfast and sit down.
Oh, wow, is he in a fun mood this morning? What's the matter, Fletch? Did you have to sleep on the couch last night?
If you don't shut your filthy mouth, Smith, I'll see you get no breakfast at all.
I'd watch that temper of yours if I were you, Mr. Fletcher.
What?
Well, if you can't control it, you shouldn't be working in a prison, especially a women's prison. It can lead to violence, don't you agree?
Give that back, you little weasel! Don't play the innocent with me, Birdbrain. I caught you red-handed.
Sit down, Smith. Now, what's going on
This
here?
garbage guts can't give her thieving claws to herself. I don't know what she's talking about, Miss Bennett.
You eat like a pig bird, Smith.
I hope you choke.
You're lucky you didn't break your jaw.
I told Vera not to say anything.
Well, I'm glad she did.
Look, I just want to forget it, Greg.
How could you get involved with him, Meg?
How was I to know what he was like?
We must have had some idea. A person doesn't just change overnight.
He was a friend of Jim's. We got on well.
What about the Fletchers? Surely they must have seen the signs.
Well, Leela mentioned he used to get into brawls.
Oh, and you didn't listen to her.
Jim said she was exaggerating because she didn't like him. Well, how was I to know? All I could go on was how he treated me, and that was very well. I liked him.
Maybe because you wanted to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you've had a rough trot, that's all, and I haven't exactly helped.
All right. Maybe I didn't want to listen to the truth. Maybe I did want a man I could believe in, and maybe lots of things.
In my opinion, it tells you exactly what sort of a man Jim Fletcher really is. With his attitude towards the women. I mean, you should have heard him abusing them this morning. I'd say he's almost lost control.
All I heard, Miss Bennett, was your voice. I noticed that Latham was working in the dining room. Why?
She's been behaving, and she was responsible for Coulson getting caught. My report's on your desk.
I would like to speak to Coulson alone.
But she's dangerous.
You can leave your keys with me, Miss Bennett. You should eat something. Not hungry? It's not very pleasant, is it? I've spoken to the authorities. They said you are unable to help them regarding the terrorists. Is that true?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson. It wasn't meant to have happened the way it did. Janet said it'd be easy. No one expected you. That policeman. I believed her. I believed what she stood for.
Did you believe